Welcome back to another episode of Teaching Eggs to Fly. Today we're heading back to Kerbin from the Mun. That is, after we've collected all possible science. Our return trip has two major stages. The first is simply to get into an orbit around the Mun, for which we take off and head eastward. And sometimes we all get our east and west mixed up. To reach a lunar orbit, we can burn almost exactly horizontal. Because there's no atmosphere to slow us down, we don't need to worry about burning upwards to escape the atmosphere. Aim for an orbit of 20 to 40 kilometers. And once the apoapsis has reached that point, plan out the rest of the orbit with a maneuver node to get it as round as possible. The next step is to plan our burn to return back to the sphere of influence of Kerbin out of the gravitational influence of the Mun. We want to chart a course that will take us out of the sphere of influence of the Mun on the opposite side from its direction of motion. This burn will be in the region of 300 meters per second, and the course, when you look at the Mun, should be roughly parallel to its own orbital path. Now note that this course actually has us crashing into Kerbin. We don't want to do that. We would burn up long before we'd lost enough velocity to be able to deploy a parachute. Adjust the maneuver node so that our periapsis will be in the region of 30 to 40 kilometers above the surface of Kerbin. Complete your planned maneuver and we're well on our way home. If you've noticed that you've burned a little too much and your periapsis is now inside the planet, don't worry. Just swing your craft around 180 degrees and burn until you're happy with your periapsis. Now time warp until you're back close to Kerbin, and it's time to reorient yourself for re-entry. As you're entering the atmosphere, it's well worth it to use up any remaining fuel and slow down as much as possible. While a regular capsule and heat shield will orientate themselves without SAS, if you've added a science module, be sure to orient yourself manually towards the retrograde. It may be that your science capsule will not survive even when pointed fully retrograde. In this case, don't panic, your pod is still quite capable of surviving. Shame about the science, but well done, Egg.